like online, because it's that's really what it is. It's the photographs and stuff come through the feed.
Right.
And I was like, what? Like, because she had like
because she did put it out
stuck
there.
under the bed, like the booty's up in the air, with her head stuck under the bed.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Not 50 Cent leaking explosive footage, Terrence Howard secretly sent him about Diddy's infamous freak-offs. Terrence Howard has officially spilled the hottest tea ever on Diddy, and trust, it's boiling over. For years, Terrence has claimed that he got blacklisted from Hollywood because he refused to get down with some shady industry games. Now he's finally exposing the truth, pulling back the curtain on powerful figures involved, and Diddy is front and center. But hold up, Diddy's not alone in this scandal because Terrence also dropped a major bomb about Diddy's girl, Young Miami. Howard alleges that Young Miami herself was right there at those wild freak-off parties. But the scandalous part is what Terrence claims he caught her doing on camera. It's crazier than your wildest imagination. The footage he's talking about is off-the-wall shocking, and the drama surrounding it is about to explode. This tea isn't just hot, it's scorching. What's really wild is that Terrence didn't even wait to be asked before spilling all this dirt. Nobody even knew he had receipts on Diddy. Just days ago, during a podcast interview, he decided to air it all out, letting everyone know exactly what he's been holding back. Now, Terrence Howard wasn't holding back about all the shady business. The allegations of Diddy luring people into uncomfortable, messy situations. Terrence said Diddy reached out, claiming he needed help sharpening his acting skills. But hold up, something isn't adding up here. Because while we know Diddy pops up in shows now and then, he's definitely not deep enough in the acting game to need a heavyweight like Terrence Howard coaching him. Terrence showed up thinking it was strictly professional. But things took a strange turn as soon as he got there. Suddenly, Diddy was acting way off, like he had completely different intentions. But Terrence wasted no time making it crystal clear. He's not about those shady games and wasn't going to play along. He shut it down fast and left no room for confusion.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back.
But here's the kicker. Terrence dropped another wild claim, saying he definitely wasn't the only one Diddy allegedly tried to pull moves on. According to Terrence, practically every guy who attended those infamous Diddy parties ended up caught in some compromising situations. He straight up said those dudes lost their man cards at those events. It's real out here. No one's safe at Diddy's parties. Terrence painted a pretty wild picture of just how shady things get behind those mansion doors. And what's even crazier, this isn't even the first time Terrence has blown the whistle about shady Hollywood antics. He's been talking about this sketchy stuff for years, and now he's finally dropping names and receipts. Terrence Howard has actually been calling this out for a while now, saying straight up he got punished and booted from Hollywood because he refused to play their shady games. A few years back, Terrence spilled the truth on why he really stepped away from acting. And it wasn't because roles stopped coming or he was bored. Nope. He flat out said Hollywood tried to strip him of his manhood, pushing him into situations he wanted no part of. But when he stood his ground, suddenly everyone started labeling him difficult, flipping the script and painting him as the villain. It's the same old dirty trick Hollywood pulls all the time, especially with women. The moment someone speaks up or refuses to get in line, the industry quickly tries to discredit and silence them. So when Terrence shocked everyone by announcing his retirement from acting back in December 2022, folks were seriously confused. The timing didn't add up because he was still pulling big roles and his fans were rocking with him heavy. On the surface, there was no drama, no scandal, nothing obvious that would force him to suddenly dip out. But Terrence said there was way more going down behind closed doors, stuff he described as straight up shady.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to, that's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
Hollywood was allegedly pushing him into uncomfortable scenarios, situations specifically designed to break down his manhood. When Terrence stood firm and said, no, the industry wasn't having it. They weren't about to tolerate resistance. And just like that, he found himself kicked to the curb. Even though he's returned to the spotlight since then, Terrence isn't taking any chances. He's moving carefully, watching his back every step of the way. This is that dark, shady side of the entertainment game that folks rarely talk about. One thing Terrence Howard keeps calling out loud and clear is the pressure he felt to wear a dress on set, something he stood 10 toes down against. According to him, the scenes that called for it had nothing to do with the storyline and felt more like a setup to embarrass him or tear down his masculinity. And let's be real, it's not just Terrence. This convo's been bubbling for years. A bunch of black male actors have come forward saying producers tried to push them into rocking dresses in roles that made zero sense. Comedy legend Cat Williams even brought it up in his interview with Club Shay Shay, saying this kind of thing is way more common in Hollywood than people think. Cat broke it down, saying that the pressure to act feminine or throw on a dress is often hidden behind the promise of a fat paycheck or a big opportunity. But he kept it solid. He said he's walked away from some major money more than once just to protect his image and principles. That type of stand takes guts. And right when that interview made waves, Terrence came out swinging with his own truth. He didn't waste a second jumping in to back up what Cat was saying. Plus, he finally addressed those messy rumors that had been following him. Remember when people claimed Terrence got fired from projects because of his so-called attitude or being too difficult to work with? Yeah, well, he shut all that down. After Cat's interview aired, Terrence clapped back hard, saying those stories were straight up false. The real reason he got replaced wasn't about any drama on set. It was because he refused to bend, refused to let the industry clown him or take away his manhood just to stay in the spotlight. According to Terrence, that's exactly why they let him go, because he refused to fold. He said, "My daddy taught me never take vertebrae out your back or the base out your throat. I ain't raised no sheep, I raised men. Stay a man." That line hit deep. He believes being a real man comes with a price nowadays, because this society ain't built for strong men to thrive anymore. Everything's being blurred. He said it himself. Everything is androgynous, you know. Terrence pointed out that the more successful a man is in Hollywood now, the more likely he's pushed to be soft or effeminate. And he didn't stop there. Oh no, he took it even deeper in another interview, doubling down on the claim that there's a secret agenda to weaken the image of black men in the spotlight. According to Terrence, the system sees powerful black men as a threat. In his own words, the man has been demonized with the new formula. Most men are made to be effeminate and stripped of their strength. They allow white men to be strong, but when it's a black man, it's seen as dangerous. He even said he refuses to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone else's story. Instead, he believes the industry should expand its stories to let men be men, while still uplifting women's beauty. Now, with everything Terrence has recently said about Diddy, fans are starting to piece it all together. And honestly, it's starting to make a whole lot of sense. But here's the kicker. According to inside sources, Terrence might still be sitting on even more explosive info. Word is, the stuff he hasn't shared yet could be even wilder than what he's already exposed. Now, according to 50 Cent, all this chaos ties right back to Diddy's so-called side piece, Young Miami. After Terrence Howard's interview blew up online, 50 originally said he was staying out of the mess. He even posted, "No comment, I'm staying positive. God help us all." But looks like that silence didn't last long. because now he's out here hinting that he's got some wild footage from one of those infamous Freakoff parties. Word on the street is that Terrence was the one who secretly recorded this video at one of those exclusive events he attended. And allegedly, that footage shows Young Miami caught in some very compromising situations. It's been buzzing for a while now that the City Girl star knows way more than she's letting on, and now folks are starting to really connect the dots. The whispers aren't just saying she was at these parties, they're saying she was an active player in the scene, not some innocent bystander. Allegedly, she was deep in it, possibly even helping organize some of these shady situations. And honestly, her past behavior has folks giving these claims a serious side-eye. Remember when Diddy's other girl, Gina Hoyne, posted a pic of her and Diddy? Young Miami didn't hold back. She flew into a jealous rage and fired off some wild threats online. She allegedly told Gina that she'd have Diddy force her into a Freakoff as payback. In her words, "Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 15 years. You a eater. That EP and Diddy just used you when he felt like it." She didn't stop there, calling Gina sushi, saying she's a certified freak, and even mocking her about not hearing from Diddy since the awards. "Let that heart go, hun. If I wanted you to eat me, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You a munch." That's what Young Miami allegedly snapped online during one of her heated moments, straight up mocking another one of Diddy's side pieces. But this drama goes even deeper than shady Instagram beef. It turns out there's serious legal heat behind the scenes involving another woman who was connected to Diddy. And her story is chilling. According to court documents, a woman going by Jane Doe to stay anonymous filed claims that she was manipulated into taking unknown substances at Diddy's house. The documents state that in July 2022, Jane Doe was flown out to Diddy's Los Angeles mansion at his request. While at his home, she was allegedly pressured into taking something while inside Diddy's bathroom. Later, she found out that what she had ingested contained ketamine, or possibly other drugs, which left her blacking out and slipping in and out of consciousness throughout the night. Jane Doe clearly stated she never consented to taking any of it. What's worse, she claims she woke up with bruises all over her body and had no memory of what had gone down while she was unconscious. She said Diddy would have her perform shows for him, give her drinks, and feed her substances until she'd black out. Then she'd come to, injured and confused, with zero clue what had happened. And this pattern allegedly went on for years, continuing until July 2024. The most shocking part, Jane Doe said she ended up pregnant by Diddy, and that's when the real nightmare began. Reports claim that Young Miami allegedly bullied this woman so hard, it led to her having a miscarriage. According to the court documents, things took an even darker turn after Jane Doe found out she was pregnant. The paperwork says she took a pregnancy test shortly after her alleged encounter, and it came back positive. When she informed Diddy, the pressure kicked in fast. Carrier Brownlee, one of Diddy's close associates, allegedly began harassing Jane Doe, calling her over and over and pushing her to end the pregnancy. Jane Doe ended up suffering a miscarriage. After that, she reportedly cut off all contact with Diddy and his team for about 3 months. And here's where things get even messier. Carrier Brownlee is better known as Isha, which happens to be Young Miami's real name. Yep, that's right. Young Miami from City Girls. And honestly, it wouldn't be a stretch for fans to believe it. After all, we all saw how hard Young Miami spiraled when Diddy had a baby with another woman back in 2022. That meltdown was public and loud. So, the idea that she might have gone after someone behind the scenes? Folks aren't exactly shocked. But this is just the beginning, because there's more. A man named Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed his own lawsuit, and the claims he made are beyond disturbing. He didn't just call out Diddy, he brought Young Miami into the picture too. Allegedly, she wasn't just some party guest in the background. According to Lil Rod, she was right there, silently watching it all go down. In one incident, Lil Rod claimed Diddy was heavily intoxicated, offering him cocaine, which he refused, but things escalated quickly. Lil Rod said that as he walked to the restroom, Diddy allegedly had Young Miami's cousin try to force himself on him at the same event. According to the lawsuit, things took a shocking turn when Young Miami's cousin allegedly burst into the bathroom and started groping Lil Rod, aka Mr. Jones. He believes Diddy sent her in there to assault him. The documents claim that as soon as she came in, she dropped to her knees and began performing an unwanted act on him while he was exposed. Mr. Jones pushed her off and tried to get out of the bathroom immediately, but it didn't stop there. The documents say Miami's cousin refused to back off. She followed him out of the bathroom, started stripping down, and allegedly tried to force herself on him right there in front of Diddy and his team. Jones claims she tried to straddle him and initiate an intimate act while everyone was present. It was chaotic, disturbing, and completely out of line. And that's just one part of what he revealed. In another incident on Thanksgiving night in 2022 down in Miami, Mr. Jones said Diddy pulled him and another man named Forrest Taylor into the studio bathroom. Diddy allegedly asked them for a $100 bill, not for cash, but so he could snort something with them. Mr. Jones said he was terrified, but didn't have the bill on him, which probably saved him that night. But Diddy wasn't done. Jones claims he waited and later did the nose candy with Young Miami instead. And it doesn't stop there. According to court docs, Young Miami allegedly played a much bigger role in Diddy's inner circle than people realized.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
I need another one. You here, get you another one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accusing me of being...
She wasn't just partying. Jones says she helped Diddy move substances and would even deliver them to him wherever he was. No questions asked. One example? While they were rehearsing for Farrell's Something in the Water Festival in Virginia, Young Miami was allegedly right there, making sure Diddy got exactly what he needed. According to the court filings, Lil Rod claimed he personally saw Diddy doing lines of coke right in his dressing room, and it gets even messier. He said Diddy wanted something stronger, but one of his team members, Brendan, forgot it. So another associate, Christina Coram, allegedly had it brought in straight from Miami. And guess who was tied to all of this again? Young Miami. Mr. Jones went on to accuse Young Miami of being an S-worker for Diddy, saying she was getting paid monthly for her involvement. The documents straight up state that Young Miami, along with Jade and Daphne Joy, were receiving regular wire transfers from Robin Greenhill, one of Diddy's insiders. These transfers, according to the lawsuit, are proof of an ongoing criminal operation. Multiple witnesses have now connected Young Miami to Diddy in more ways than just being his girl. And it's looking like 50 Cent might be sitting on footage that could shake everything up. Allegedly, he's got clips of her caught in 4K. And let's be real, 50 is not the guy you want holding that kind of dirt. He's petty, messy, and loves chaos. With 50 and Diddy's feud going back over 2 decades, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that he'll drop that footage when the time's just right. And when he does, it's going to blow the whole situation wide open. Things are definitely not looking good for Young Miami right now. And honestly, Terrence Howard just might be telling the truth after all. But now, I want to know what you think. Is Young Miami really caught up in all this? Could 50 be getting ready to flip the industry upside down again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your crew.